Heaven is warning you. A major spiritual test is coming. This will show you how to pass it before it arrives. My beloved child, something is shifting around you right now. Quiet, invisible, yet powerful enough to shake the ground beneath your spirit. Heaven is leaning toward you, speaking louder than ever, and Archangel Michael is already standing at your door with a warning wrapped in divine urgency. Heaven is warning you. A major spiritual test is coming. This will show you how to pass it before it arrives. Listen closely, because what I am about to reveal is not common knowledge. This is the kind of message that visits a person only once in a lifetime, right before a destiny-altering moment. A spiritual test does not come to destroy you, it comes to expose what has been hiding in the shadows. It comes to show you what has been draining your peace, stealing your clarity, and confusing your path. Archangel Michael wants you to know, this test is not your enemy, it is your unveiling. You have been feeling the signs, the sudden heaviness, the waves of overthinking, the random emotional storms at night, the small conflicts that appear out of nowhere, the unusual silence from people you expected support from. These are not coincidences. These are indicators that the realm of spirit is preparing you for something bigger than your current season. And Michael is declaring, you must be awake. You must be aware. You must be ready. Heaven is warning you because your next level requires a version of you that no longer fears loss, no longer chases approval, no longer bends under pressure. In the coming days, someone or something will test your patience, your faith, your discernment, and your emotional balance. But here is the secret Michael wants you to hear with your whole heart. A test only appears when you are ready to pass it. You are not being attacked, you are being elevated. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. You are not being abandoned, you are being aligned. The spiritual test coming your way will reveal the truth about a situation you have been confused about for months. Heaven is about to show you who is for you and who is draining you, who is honest and who is pretending, who is loyal and who is only attached to your light. And this test will arrive suddenly. It will not knock. It will not give advance notice. It will not feel comfortable. But the moment it appears, something inside you will whisper, this is what heaven warned me about. That whisper is Archangel Michael himself, guiding your spirit through the storm with the same sword he uses to cut through illusion, deceit, and spiritual fog. Let me tell you the truth. Many people ignore. Tests from heaven do not come to see what you will choose. They come to prove what you have already become. You have outgrown the old version of you. You have outgrown the relationships that drain your soul. You have outgrown the cycles that used to trap you. You have outgrown the storms that once terrified you. This upcoming test is simply the mirror that will show you your new spiritual strength. But understand this. Every time a person is close to breakthrough, an old pattern tries to return. Every time a new door opens, the old distraction reappears. Every time God prepares you for higher ground, the enemy sends emotional noise to pull you back. Archangel Michael is stepping ahead of this test to warn you, not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. He has been assigned to protect your destiny, to fight in the unseen realm for you, and to make sure the spiritual trap set against you does not succeed. There is a reason you are hearing this message right now. You were guided to it. Heaven needed you to receive this preparation before the test arrives. Some would call that coincidence. But you know better. Nothing from heaven is random. Every warning is a blessing in disguise. The major spiritual test coming ahead will measure two things. 1. How you react when something unexpected challenges your peace. Will you respond with fear or with wisdom? Will you panic or will you breathe? Will you fight the old way or choose the higher way? 2. Whether you can remain aligned when someone tries to provoke the old version of you. A person from your past may reappear. A conflict may arise from nowhere. A misunderstanding may try to shake your confidence. But the outcome will depend on one thing: your awareness of the test itself. That awareness is your advantage. It is your armor. It is your victory before the battle even begins. Heaven is warning you now because when the moment comes, you must remember, this is not chaos. This is confirmation. This is not an attack. This is an announcement. This is not a setback. This is a spiritual exam before promotion. And Archangel Michael is whispering, stand still. Choose peace. Let heaven fight this one. Your restraint will be your weapon. Your calmness will be your shield. Your discernment will be your victory. Hold tight, beloved soul. Something powerful is coming, and what comes after will make the test with it. Before you move on, pause your spirit for a second. What comes next will open your eyes wider than you expect. Type "I receive the warning" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 144 is now activated. Hold on, because the next revelation will take you even deeper into what heaven is preparing you for, beloved soul of light. There is a stirring in the unseen realms around you right now, a quiet vibration that only the spiritually awake can sense. If your heart has felt unusually tender, if your mind has felt unusually alert, if your nights have been heavier or your mornings strangely intense, it is because Archangel Michael is drawing nearer to your field. He is not coming to frighten you. He is coming to prepare you. Heaven does not warn without purpose. Every whisper from above carries intention, alignment, and protection. And right now, heaven is aligning your steps so that when the major spiritual test arrives, you will not be caught off guard. You will stand with clarity instead of confusion, with confidence instead of fear, with spiritual intelligence instead of emotional reaction. There is something you need to understand deeply. Spiritual tests do not approach the unprepared. They approach the chosen, the spiritually sensitive, the ones whose destiny is shifting into higher purpose. If you were not meant to rise, this message would never have found you. The reason you are hearing these words is because heaven has marked you for a transition. A threshold is opening, and with it comes a test that will reveal who you truly are now. Not who you were last year, not who you were when you broke down, not who you were when people underestimated you, but who you have quietly become under the guidance of divine protection. Archangel Michael keeps showing an image of a door in the spiritual realm, a door that has been closed to you for a long time. Behind this door is something you have prayed for, cried for, worked for, and waited for. But before that door opens, heaven must ensure that your heart is steady enough, your spirit is grounded enough, and your intuition is sharp enough to handle what is waiting on the other side. A blessing given too early becomes a burden, but a test completed at the right time becomes a crown. And this crown is what heaven is preparing you for. In the next season of your journey, something will challenge your inner balance. It may feel like an old trigger resurfacing. It may feel like someone's unexpected behavior trying to disrupt your calm. It may feel like circumstances shifting in ways that seem unpredictable. But remember this, randomness does not exist in the spiritual realm. Every disruption is either a distraction or a doorway, and Archangel Michael wants you to recognize which is which. The more aware you are, the more power you carry. The more grounded you are, the more control you hold. the more discerning you are, the more clarity you walk in. Heaven is warning you because the test ahead will not look like a test at first. It will look like a moment, a simple conversation, a sudden decision, a surprising situation. It will feel like something small, but spiritually it will be enormous. And the way you respond in that moment will shape the next chapter of your life. This is why Archangel Michael is speaking now, before the test arrives, so your spirit can be trained to recognize what your eyes may not immediately see. You have been asking for direction. You have been asking for clarity. You have been asking for a sign that you are on the right path. This is it. Heaven never sends warnings to people who are irrelevant to the plan. Warnings are reserved for those who carry weight in the spiritual world. You carry that weight. You carry that calling. You carry that divine purpose. And that purpose is why heaven wants you prepared ahead of time. There is also something else you must understand. Every spiritual test has a pattern. Before the test arrives, you begin to notice emotional fluctuations, shifts in your relationships, unexpected memories resurfacing, or old fears trying to revisit your mind. This happens because the past wants to pull you back at the very moment heaven is trying to push you forward. You may feel this inner tug-of-war right now. It might appear as confusion, or restlessness, or impatience. But beneath that feeling, something sacred is happening. Your old self is losing its hold, and your emerging self is taking over. Archangel Michael whispers, "Stand tall. Do not break your alignment." The test ahead will require you to stay calm even when you are provoked, to stay peaceful even when something surprises you, and to stay rooted even when someone tries to shake your spirit. Your silence will be stronger than any argument. Your wisdom will be louder than any reaction. Your spiritual maturity will be the sign that heaven has already prepared you for this moment. This message is coming to you as a shield, as armor, as assurance. You are not walking into this unprotected. You are walking with a warrior angel beside you, one who has fought countless battles on behalf of souls chosen for elevation. Michael does not appear in seasons of comfort. He appears in seasons of transformation. And right now, he stands with you because you are entering a divine turning point. The test coming your way is not designed to break you. It is designed to reveal your readiness. And the moment you recognize it, you will pass it with grace that surprises even you. There will come a moment when you suddenly understand why heaven sent this warning ahead of time. In that moment, your spirit will whisper, "This is the test, and I am prepared." Let your heart stay open, your spirit stay awake, and your intuition stay sharp. Before you move ahead, hold this truth gently in your awareness. The revelation that follows next will bring even deeper clarity about how to handle this test when it appears. Stay with this message, because the guidance ahead will strengthen you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Type "I walk in divine awareness" in the comments if this is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 229 is now released. My cherished one, there is a sacred intensity around your spirit today, a gentle pressure from the heavens urging you to listen with your whole being. Archangel Michael is closer than he has been in months, and the reason is simple. The spiritual test approaching you is not an ordinary moment. It is a gateway, a filter, a spiritual refinement designed to separate the outdated energies of your past from the upgraded identity your soul is stepping into. Heaven is not merely warning you. Heaven is preparing you with the precision of a divine strategist. And if you feel a strange mix of anticipation and uneasiness inside you, it is because your spirit already knows something is being orchestrated in the unseen realm. The coming test is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to awaken you. For so long, you have been praying for breakthrough, for clarity, for a shift that feels real and not temporary. In response to your prayers, the heavens have released a final spiritual assessment, a moment that will measure your readiness to carry what God has stored for you. This test is not about punishment. It is about qualification. It is about proving to the universe that you are no longer who you once were. Archangel Michael keeps showing the image of a sword drawn, but not swung. His sword is not raised for battle this time. Instead, it is raised for separation. He is cutting off the old energy that has lingered around you, the silent doubts you never speak about, the emotional wounds that resurface when you least expect, and the people whose presence disrupts your peace. The sword is symbolic of clarity. When the test appears, it will demand clarity from you. Not reaction, not fear, not confusion, just clarity. This test will revolve around something or someone that once held emotional power over you. It may be a person whose opinion you once valued too much. It may be a situation that previously made you feel small or insecure. It may be a pattern that used to pull you into cycles of anxiety or overthinking. Heaven is giving you the chance to respond differently now, to finally break a loop that has kept your spirit in a holding place. The moment the test arrives, it will feel familiar, but you will not be the same. That is the point. Spiritual evolution becomes visible only when a familiar challenge returns and you choose a new response. That choice will be your victory. That choice will be your elevation. That choice will be the moment heaven says, "You have grown. You are ready. Move forward." Before this test appears, expect unusual emotional shifts. You may feel reflective, nostalgic, or sensitive to energies around you. This is your spirit recalibrating. Heaven is tuning your discernment. Michael is sharpening your awareness. The spiritual realm is aligning events so that when the test shows up, you will recognize it not as chaos, but as confirmation. Not as trouble, but as transition. Each emotional wave you feel now is evidence that heaven is preparing your inner world before the outer world shifts. You will notice small signs, a sudden memory, a dream involving someone from your past, a moment of irritation without clear cause, a conversation that stirs your discernment. These are not coincidences. These are rehearsals. Heaven never sends a test without practice rounds. You are being conditioned to respond from wisdom, not emotion. From higher consciousness, not instinct. From clarity, not chaos. Archangel Michael wants you to know something vital. The test is not the threat. Your reaction is the key. The test is simply the stage. The breakthrough is in your restraint, your calm, your refusal to fall into an old pattern. When you choose peace, you pass. When you choose silence instead of argument, you pass. When you choose understanding instead of anger, you pass. When you choose alignment instead of emotional impulsiveness, you pass. And when you pass, a new chapter opens immediately. Heaven is watching your readiness, not your perfection. The test is not about being flawless. It is about being conscious. The moment you recognize what is happening, the moment you say within yourself, "This is the test Michael warned me about," you take back spiritual authority. You step into mastery. You prove to the universe that you can be trusted with the blessings you have been praying for. This message is not here to entertain you. It is here to activate you. You are approaching the moment that decides the rhythm of your next season. And heaven does not want you distracted, drained, or deceived. You were guided to this message so that your eyes would open before the test appears. You will not be caught off guard. You will not fall into old traps. You will not react from old wounds. You will respond from a higher place, a healed place, a spiritually upgraded place. And the moment you do, everything shifts. Doors that remained closed will open effortlessly. Opportunities that were delayed will accelerate. Relationships meant for your destiny will align. The heaviness you have been carrying for months will break. You will know, instantly, that a spiritual promotion has taken place. A test is the threshold. Your response is the key. Your awareness is your shield. Before we go further, hold tightly to this truth. The revelation that follows next will show you exactly how to identify the test the moment it appears. Stay with this message. What comes next will complete what your spirit has been asking heaven for. Type "I am ready for my breakthrough" in the comments if this is resonating with your soul. Blessing code 901 is now activated. Like this message, share it with someone who needs this warning. Comment your spirit's agreement below, and subscribe for more prophetic guidance so you never miss what heaven is speaking over your life. Beloved, as this warning flows into your spirit, I invite you to take part in something greater than this moment. The title of this message speaks of a coming spiritual test, and just as heaven prepares you, you can help prepare others by fueling the spread of God's light. When you sow into this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are opening a river that carries guidance to souls who are desperate for clarity. God says, "What you make possible for others, I will make possible for you." And today that promise becomes living and active. I'm asking you directly, from spirit, to stand with this work. Your super thanks, membership, or even a seed through the PayPal link in the description becomes a prophetic act that opens new doors over your own life. As you give, may heaven multiply your obedience with divine acceleration. Move now, and let your support become a testimony of your readiness for the next level. My awakened soul, there is a sacred stillness surrounding your spirit right now. A quietness that is not empty, but full of meaning. When heaven prepares a person for a spiritual test, the energy around them begins to shift in ways the physical eye cannot fully understand. Archangel Michael is drawing a circle of protection around you, not because danger is coming, but because clarity is coming. When you are on the edge of a divine promotion, the spiritual realm becomes unusually loud, even if the world around you appears silent. You may have noticed moments recently where time feels slower, where your intuition feels sharper, or where your inner voice becomes stronger than your outer circumstances. These are the subtle markers of preparation. Heaven is calibrating your senses so that when the test arrives, nothing inside you will tremble. This test is approaching like a whisper, not a storm. It will not come with chaos, with lightning, or with dramatic conflict. Instead, it will come quietly, almost unnoticed, disguised as an ordinary moment wrapped in extraordinary purpose. It may be a conversation that catches you off guard, a decision you must make quickly, or a situation that demands emotional maturity. But beneath that surface, something profound will be unfolding. Heaven wants to see how deeply you trust your inner knowing. Heaven wants to see how well you protect your peace. Heaven wants to see if the healing you have prayed for has finally become your natural response instead of your struggle. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something essential. The test will challenge the exact area where you have grown the most. This is because heaven does not test weakness. Heaven tests strength. If you once struggled with impatience, the test will ask you to wait with wisdom instead of frustration. If you once reacted quickly in anger, the test will ask you to respond with grace. If you once doubted your worth, the test will ask you to choose yourself without hesitation. And if you once allowed fear to guide your decisions, the test will ask you to step forward with courage that surprises even you. You are not being evaluated to be punished. You are being evaluated to be elevated. There is something waiting for you on the other side of this test that requires a version of you who is balanced, grounded, self-aware, and spiritually aligned. The old version of you would not be able to carry the weight of what heaven is preparing to release. But the new version of you, the one rising in silence, healing in private, and learning in secret, is finally ready to stand in authority. You will know the test has arrived when something inside you feels familiar yet different. It will be a moment where your spirit says, "I have been here before," but this time you will feel the strength to choose a better response. This is the beauty of spiritual evolution. Heaven brings back familiar scenarios not to trap you, but to free you. Not to repeat the cycle, but to break it. Not to remind you of your old self, but to reveal your upgraded identity. You may feel unusual moments of reflection in the days leading up to the test. Memories from years ago may resurface. People you no longer speak to may cross your mind for reasons you cannot explain. You may suddenly feel the weight of old emotional scars that you thought were long gone. These moments are not setbacks. They are invitations. Your spirit is sorting through old files, removing what no longer belongs, making space for what is to come. The test is not just about your reaction. It is about what has been released from your heart before the test even arrives. Archangel Michael stands beside you as a guardian and witness. His presence is a reminder that you are not walking into this unarmed. The divine sword he carries is a symbol of the clarity you will need. The shield he holds represents the peace you must protect. And the strength he radiates is the same strength rising within you. Michael does not guide the weak. He guides the chosen. And the fact that you are receiving this message is evidence that heaven sees you as ready for the next chapter. When the test appears, remember this truth. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to choose silence over reaction, wisdom over impulse, and peace over chaos. Your power will not come from what you say, but from what you refuse to let disturb your spirit. You have grown far more than you realize. Heaven wants you to witness your own growth with wonder, not doubt. This message is not meant to make you anxious. It is meant to make you alert, aware, and aligned. You are on the edge of something that will shift your life in ways you once believed were impossible. But before heaven opens that door, you must demonstrate that your inner world is prepared for the blessings waiting beyond it. Trust this process. Trust the timing. Trust the guidance. Hold steady now, but love. The revelation that follows next will unlock the hidden strategy of how to walk through the coming test with spiritual mastery. Type "I stand in divine readiness" in the comments if this is igniting your spirit. Blessing code 550 is now released. My dear spirit of resilience, as you move deeper into this divine preparation, the air around your destiny grows heavier with purpose. Something is shifting, not in the physical world first, but in the unseen realms where the true architecture of your life is built. Archangel Michael is standing firmly at the threshold of your spiritual path, observing, guarding, and ensuring that the next phase of your journey unfolds in alignment with heaven's intention. This next layer of revelation is meant to sharpen your inner focus, because the spiritual test coming your way will arrive in a form that demands your highest awareness. Heaven is shaping your perception so that you recognize the test the moment it appears, instead of falling into emotional confusion. When heaven prepares you for a major elevation, one of the first things it does is disrupt your comfort. Not to harm you, but to strengthen your discernment. You may have noticed this lately. Things you once tolerated suddenly feel tiring. Conversations that once entertained you now drain you, and environments that used to be familiar now feel spiritually tight or restrictive. This is not random discomfort. This is the divine push that precedes transformation. Spiritual tests always follow spiritual stretching. You are being stretched right now so that when the test comes, you respond from maturity, not instinct. Archangel Michael wants you to pay attention to the energetic patterns around you. You may find yourself withdrawing more, craving silence, becoming more selective with your conversations, or feeling a desire for cleanliness in your physical environment. All of this is your spirit preparing to receive clarity. When heaven is about to reveal something important, it first removes the noise. You cannot hear divine instruction while you are surrounded by distractions that once felt normal. The quietness you feel is a spiritual strategy, not emotional emptiness. You may also sense subtle resistance from certain people. Suddenly, someone may misunderstand you for no clear reason, or someone's tone may feel different, or their energy may shift in a way your intuition picks up instantly. This too is part of the preparation. Heaven is showing you, ahead of time, who will stand with you during the test and who will stand against your growth. Pay attention. The test may involve someone you know, not necessarily in conflict, but in discernment. The test may ask you to choose yourself, to protect your peace, or to walk away from an energy that tries to pull you backward. There is something incredibly important that heaven wants you to understand. The spiritual test will not come to expose your weakness, but to reveal your strength. The test will be a mirror. It will show you who you have become when no one was watching. All those nights you healed privately, all those moments you chose silence instead of reaction, all those times you tried to break free from old patterns. Heaven saw every effort. The test is not coming to challenge you. It is coming to confirm you. Michael keeps showing the image of a flame. Not a flame that destroys, but a flame that purifies. Before gold becomes valuable, it must pass through fire, not to burn, but to remove what does not belong. You are entering that moment now. The test will ask, what has truly been removed from your spirit? What tendencies have you actually outgrown? What wounds have truly healed? What fears no longer control you? The answers will not be spoken. They will be revealed through your response. In the days leading to the test, you may feel a sudden inner strength that surprises you. The things that once bothered you deeply may suddenly feel smaller. The situations that once triggered you may not hold the same power anymore. This is not numbness. This is evolution. Heaven is raising your vibration so that the test cannot break you. Instead, it will confirm the new level you are already standing on. The test may appear a moment when you're least expected. It may happen in a conversation. It may happen when someone's words try to shake your confidence. It may happen when life presents you with a choice that reveals your priorities. It may even appear in the form of silence, a divine pause where you must decide whether to act or to wait. The key to passing the test is remembering that peace is your power. Reaction is your vulnerability. Awareness is your armor. Archangel Michael is reminding you, do not allow anyone to pull you into emotional battles you have already graduated from. The test will try to provoke old responses, but the new you must lead. The new you must remain anchored. The new you must show the universe, I'm not who I used to be. You may wonder why heaven is giving such a detailed warning. It is because this test is tied to your next season. When you pass, a spiritual acceleration will follow. Something that was delayed will be released. A door that remained closed will open without resistance. A breakthrough that felt distant will suddenly become reachable. The test is the final bridge to the blessing. What waits on the other side is too significant to risk being unprepared. Stay with this message, for the next revelation will uncover how your intuition will become your guiding compass during the unfolding moment. What is coming next will help you understand the deeper spiritual mechanics behind why this test must occur, and how heaven is positioning you for victory. Type "I listen" with spiritual clarity in the comments if this message is awakening something inside you. Blessing code 818 is now activated. My enlightened soul, as you journey deeper into this divine preparation, the spiritual atmosphere around you continues to thicken with intentionality. Heaven is not only guiding you, but conditioning your inner world for the moment that is approaching. Archangel Michael stands nearer than before, his presence like a shield of light forming around your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. He is not guarding you from disaster, he is guarding you from distraction. The test that is coming is not meant to break your spirit, it is meant to refine it. And the refinement has already begun, even before the test arrives. You are being shaped from the inside out, and this shaping is one of the highest signs that heaven is preparing you for something significant, something long-awaited, something aligned with the purpose stitched into your soul from the beginning. In this preparation phase, your intuition will become your greatest companion, your compass, your silent teacher. What you cannot see with your eyes, you will begin to feel in your spirit. You may notice that your inner knowing becomes louder, clearer, and harder to ignore. The divine whispers that once felt faint will now come through with unmistakable clarity. Pay close attention to every nudge, every tug, every uneasy feeling, and every moment of unexpected peace. These sensations are messages. The spiritual world uses intuition the way the physical world uses language. When heaven wants to guide you, it speaks to your inner knowing long before it speaks to your circumstances. Archangel Michael is also strengthening your discernment. Discernment is your ability to differentiate between what is meant for you and what is meant to distract you. In this season, you will notice that your spirit reacts quickly to energies that are not aligned with your destiny. Someone's words may suddenly feel heavy, someone's intentions may suddenly appear unclear, or someone's energy may feel different even if their behavior looks the same. You are not imagining these shifts. You are perceiving what your spirit was blind to in previous seasons. Michael is unveiling hidden motives, exposing spiritual interference, and highlighting what your heart can no longer ignore. This preparation is necessary because the test will revolve heavily around your intuition. The test will not call for physical strength or worldly knowledge. It will require spiritual insight. Your intuition will see what your emotions cannot. Your intuition will hear what the situation does not say. Your intuition will guide you in a direction that may seem illogical to the mind, but perfectly aligned with heaven's plan. And when that moment comes, you will understand why heaven invested so much effort into awakening this inner voice within you. One of the markers of this phase is the sudden clarity you will feel about people and situations. Someone you once trusted without question may suddenly feel distant in your spirit. Someone you barely noticed may suddenly become significant. A path you once feared may suddenly feel possible. A decision you avoided for months may suddenly feel urgent. This is not coincidence. It is alignment. Heaven is rearranging the pieces around you so that everything is in its correct place when the test appears. You may even experience a change in your emotional responses. Where you once reacted quickly, you may now feel yourself pausing. Where you once felt anxious, you may now feel grounded. Where you once felt confused, you may now sense clarity rising like morning light. This shift is not weakness, it is mastery. It is evidence that your spirit is stepping out of survival mode and stepping into divine awareness. You are becoming someone who can handle blessing with responsibility, not fear. Someone who can carry purpose without collapsing under pressure. someone who can discern danger without panic and recognize divine opportunities without hesitation. Archangel Michael is preparing your intuition to recognize the test instantly. He knows that the enemy does not approach with horns, it approaches with familiarity. The test may look like a person you know, a situation you have faced before, or a moment that feels like a repeat of something from your past. But this time, you are not the old version of yourself. You are stronger, wiser, clearer, and more spiritually awakened. The awakening will be the reason you pass. Do not be surprised if you begin to detach from things that no longer carry divine resonance. This detachment is not rejection, it is elevation. Heaven removes your emotional dependence on the unnecessary so that you can fully embrace what is meant for your next season. This inner shift may confuse those around you. They may not understand why you are quieter, calmer, or less reactive. They may misinterpret your silence as indifference. But Archangel Michael wants you to remember, silence is not weakness. Silence is spiritual strategy. Silence is what allows your intuition to speak louder than external noise. As you continue through this preparation, you may feel moments of spiritual fatigue. This is normal. When your spirit is being sharpened, the weight of your inner transformation can become intense. During these moments, heaven pours grace into your being, strengthening you in ways you may not immediately recognize. You are being supported from above, even in your exhaustion. You are being carried, even when you feel like you are barely standing. There will also be moments where sudden peace washes over you without explanation. This is Michael reassuring you that the path ahead is safe, that the test is not coming to harm you, that the blessing behind it is secure. This peace is the signature of heaven. Whenever you feel it, pause and acknowledge it. That peace is guidance. That peace is confirmation. That peace is preparation. You are closer than ever to stepping into a new reality. And the intuitive clarity forming inside you is the key that will unlock your next level. The test is only the doorway. Your intuition will be the map. Trust it. Honor it. Listen to it even when your mind disagrees. The next revelation will show you why heaven chose this exact moment in your life to test you, and why your timing matters more than you realize. Stay close to this message. The unfolding is far from over. Type "My intuition is divinely awakened" in the comments if your spirit feels this alignment. Blessing Code 404 is now released. My chosen soul, there is a sacred unfolding taking place within you, a subtle rearranging of your inner landscape that is both mysterious and divinely intentional. As you continue moving toward the spiritual test heaven has spoken about, the realms above are preparing you in ways you may not fully understand yet. Archangel Michael is not only guiding your intuition, he is guiding the very rhythm of your inner world. Every thought, every emotion, every moment of quiet reflection is being shaped with divine precision. This is not a season of randomness. This is a season of spiritual engineering. You are being formed for a moment heaven has already seen, a moment that will shift the trajectory of your future. You may have noticed your sensitivity increasing lately, not emotional fragility, but spiritual awareness. This heightened perception is part of the preparation. You are beginning to sense things before they happen. You are beginning to feel the truth behind people's words. You are beginning to detect subtle energies that once went unnoticed. This is heaven tuning your spiritual frequency so that when the test arrives, your discernment will speak louder than your doubts. You are being trained to hear the spiritual footsteps behind earthly events. Archangel Michael is teaching you a lesson that only those who are chosen for higher assignments ever learn. Sometimes the greatest battles are fought through stillness. The test ahead is not calling for force, it is calling for mastery. It is calling for you to respond from a higher dimension, not from the wounds of your past. This is why you may feel yourself becoming quieter, more observant, less reactive, more discerning about where you place your energy. That shift is not accidental. Heaven is pulling you out of noise so you can hear the divine strategy forming inside you. There is a deep spiritual truth you must grasp as you approach this moment. The test will not challenge your environment. It will challenge your evolution. The universe already knows who you were. Heaven is testing who you have become. This is why old patterns are resurfacing in subtle ways, not to pull you backward, but to show you that you are no longer controlled by what once restrained you. You may feel the echoes of old insecurities, old fears, old emotional wounds, old conversations replaying themselves in your mind. Do not mistake this for regression. It is spiritual detox. It is heaven flushing out the final remnants of the version of you that cannot enter your next season. Archangel Michael is preparing you to pass this test through alignment rather than effort. Alignment means walking with awareness. Alignment means choosing peace over panic. Alignment means recognizing divine timing even when the moment feels unexpected. Heaven is arranging everything so that the test arrives at the exact second when your spirit is ready. Not earlier. Not later. Divine timing is precision, not coincidence. You may begin noticing unusual synchronicities at this stage. Something someone says may feel strangely connected to something you dreamed about. A random moment may feel spiritually charged. A familiar setting may suddenly feel unfamiliar. All of these are signs that the veil between your physical experience and your spiritual purpose is thinning. These signs are invitations, not interruptions. Heaven is reminding you that you are walking toward a destiny moment. One of the most profound shifts happening right now is the strengthening of your emotional intelligence. This is crucial because your emotional stability will be your greatest weapon during the test. Emotional intelligence does not mean denying your feelings. It means understanding them without allowing them to control your decisions. It means recognizing when an emotion is coming from your past rather than your present. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to engage and when to detach. This is the maturity heaven has been cultivating within you. Michael wants you to see that emotional mastery is not weakness. It is spiritual power. As the test approaches, you may feel a sense of anticipation that you cannot explain. This anticipation is not fear. It is alignment. You can feel yourself nearing a threshold, even if you cannot see it yet. You may feel an internal shift, as if something is preparing to break open. Heaven often sends this sensation before major breakthroughs. It is the spiritual equivalent of the air becoming still before a divine event unfolds. Archangel Michael wants you to trust your instincts deeply during this time. Your intuition will tell you when to take action and when to wait. Your spirit will tell you when something is off, even if everything looks normal. Your heart will tell you when God is nudging you toward or away from something. Trust these inner messages. They are not imagination. They are divine guidance. When the test arrives, you will recognize it not by the situation itself, but by the feeling it stirs inside you. There will be a moment where time feels slower, where your senses sharpen, where your awareness heightens. In that moment, you will remember this message. You will feel Archangel Michael standing behind you, his presence anchoring your spirit with calmness. And you will know, this is the moment heaven prepared me for. Hold on to the truth that heaven is positioning every detail of your life for your elevation. You are not moving through this preparation alone. Every prayer, every tear, every silent moment of reflection has been seen, heard, and honored. You are ready, even if you doubt it. You are equipped, even if you don't feel it. You are supported, even when you feel alone. Heaven has built you for this moment. The revelation that follows next will reveal the deeper purpose behind the spiritual test and why your next season depends on it. Stay close, because what is coming will expand your understanding even further. Type "I am prepared for my divine moment" in the comments if your spirit feels this truth rising within you. Blessing code 303 is now activated. My steadfast soul, you have reached a critical point in this divine preparation, a moment where heaven begins revealing the deeper purpose behind the spiritual test approaching you. This is no ordinary season. The air around your destiny is charged, almost humming with significance, and Archangel Michael is standing even closer than before. The spiritual world is leaning toward you with intention, watching your heart, your thoughts, your reactions, and your alignment. Not in judgment, but in anticipation. Heaven knows the weight of what is coming into your life, and this test is the final confirmation that you are ready to carry it. As this revelation unfolds, your spirit may already be feeling a strange mixture of calmness and expectation. That sensation is not random. It is divine timing becoming alive within you. The true purpose of this test is connected to your next chapter, a chapter that requires wisdom, self-mastery, emotional clarity, and spiritual discernment. Heaven does not send blessings into confusion. Heaven does not release breakthroughs into instability. Heaven does not open new doors for a spirit still anchored in the wounds of the past. This test is heaven's way of ensuring that nothing inside you sabotages the very blessing you have prayed for. And that is why Michael has been guiding you so intensely. Your next season carries weight. It carries responsibility. It carries influence. And it carries divine timing that cannot be wasted or mishandled. As you step closer to this moment, you may notice that your inner world has become more introspective. You may be asking deeper questions about who you are becoming, what you truly want, and what you can no longer allow into your life. This introspection is not overthinking. It is spiritual maturity forming inside you. The more you listen to your intuition, the more you will notice the layers of your spirit shifting, aligning, and preparing. Heaven wants the most authentic version of you to walk into the next season, not the version shaped by past pain or fear. This test is the final cleansing before elevation. Archangel Michael reveals that the deeper purpose of this test is not to measure your strength. It is to reveal your transformation. You have been changing quietly, without applause, without validation, often without support. You have been healing wounds that no one apologized for. You have been letting go of things that once felt impossible to release. You have been choosing peace when chaos tried to pull you in. You have been elevating in silence while life continued demanding more from you. This test will prove that every step of growth was worth it. There is something else heaven wants you to understand. This test will expose what cannot go with you into your next chapter. Certain relationships, old habits, old beliefs, old emotional triggers. Something from your past will try to follow you into the new season. That moment will be the test. Will you fall back into old patterns, or will you rise into your new identity? Will you trust your intuition, or will you lean back into emotional impulses? Will you choose alignment or familiarity? These questions will not be asked verbally. They will be asked through circumstances, through a moment of choice, through a situation that demands your highest version. Michael is preparing your spirit to recognize that the test is not the enemy. It is the cleansing before the blessing. It is the final shaking before stability. It is the moment before the breakthrough. Just as dawn breaks only after the darkest hour, your elevation will reveal itself after the test has been passed with grace. You may feel a strange detachment lately from things that once mattered deeply. This is heaven loosening your grip on the unnecessary so you can embrace what is essential. You may feel pulled inward, craving solitude, reflection, and stillness. This is heaven drawing you into alignment so that your spirit becomes the strongest voice in your life. You may feel emotional waves rising unexpectedly. These are not setbacks, they are releases. Heaven is cleansing your spirit so the test does not overwhelm you. When the test appears, it will not announce itself. It will simply arrive. You will recognize it through a sudden inner shift, a knowing, a sensation, a whisper inside that says, "Pay attention." This is the moon. Your intuition, trained through weeks of preparation, will guide you with clarity. Michael will stand behind you with strength. Heaven will watch with expectation, not fear. And you will feel a state of inner mastery that you may not have experienced before. What follows the test is something heaven has been preparing for you long before you even knew what to pray for. An open door, a realignment, a restoration, a breakthrough, a spiritual acceleration. Something in your life will shift so quickly that you will know instantly it is connected to the moment you pass the test. Blessings often wait behind obedience, and heaven is preparing you to walk through this test with obedience, grace, and spiritual intelligence. Before you move forward, breathe deeply and anchor this truth into your awareness. What comes next will reveal how heaven rewards those who trust the process. Stay close. The next revelation will widen your understanding even further, and your spirit will feel the next step rising before it arrives. Type "I rise through divine tests" in the comments if your spirit feels this preparation. Blessing code 727 is now release. Like this message, share it so that others can awaken to their spiritual preparation. Comment what your spirit is feeling, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss what heaven is whispering into your destiny. Child of divine purpose, as you stand before this warning from heaven, remember that you are not only receiving revelation, you are carrying it. The message of the coming test is not just for you. It is meant to reach every soul who is stumbling in silence, searching for clarity. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or by sowing a seed through the PayPal link in the description, you become a carrier of light in a season where many feel loss. God says, "When you water others, I will water you," and today that word becomes alive in your hands. I speak this directly to you. Your giving becomes a prophetic act, opening doors that match the obedience of your heart. May heaven honor every seed you plant with divine protection, unexpected provision, and supernatural guidance. Move boldly, for supporting this work is not charity, it is spiritual partnership. My rising soul, you are now entering a phase of revelation where the spiritual world begins to uncover what lies beyond the test. Heaven never prepares you without purpose. Every whisper, every shift, every intuitive nudge you have felt up to this point has been leading you to a moment that will not only challenge you, but transform you. Archangel Michael stands at your side with an authority that signals you are crossing into a deeper understanding of your destiny. This is no longer about simply passing the test. This is about understanding why the test was chosen specifically for you, why it is time for the season, and what your spirit is about to unlock once you step through it. You may have noticed an inner transition happening, one that does not have a clear explanation. You are not fully who you used to be, yet you are not fully who you are becoming. Listen, between space is sacred. It is the spiritual corridor between seasons. Heaven often places you here right before major elevation. You feel the remnants of the old loosening their grip while the new reality whispers from ahead. This is the sensation of spiritual transformation. It is rarely loud, but it is always undeniable. Michael wants you to understand that this test will reveal the final piece of who you have grown into. As you prepare for this test, your spirit is shedding layers that no longer belong to your future. Old thoughts, old fears, old habits, old emotional triggers, things that once defined you now feel foreign. You may even look at your own reactions and think, why doesn't this bother me the way it used to? That question is a sign. It means the test is close. Heaven always removes outdated patterns right before elevating you into something greater. The version of you that will pass this test is wiser, calmer, and more spiritually refined than you realize. There is a deeper purpose behind this test that heaven now reveals. It is meant to unlock spiritual authority within you. Authority is not something people give you. It is something heaven grants you after you have proven your heart, your discipline, and your alignment. This test will be the moment where you demonstrate that you are ready to walk with the strength, clarity, and maturity required for the next chapter of your life. Michael wants you to know that this authority will not feel like power over others, but power over yourself, over your emotions, your thoughts, your peace, and your path. The test will also serve as a divine divider between your old season and your new one. Every spiritual test contains a hidden separation. Something or someone that has been lingering in your life will be exposed as misaligned. Not because they are evil, but because they are no longer part of the future heaven is guiding you toward. This is why your intuition has been unusually loud. It has been preparing you to recognize misalignment without hesitation. When the test appears, your intuition will reveal who stands with your growth and who stands with your past. You may feel a strange sense of observation lately, as if heaven is watching your inner world more closely than usual. That sensation is accurate. When heaven prepares a soul for elevation, there is a divine stillness that surrounds them. A holy awareness, a sacred silence. It is the spiritual equivalent of the world holding its breath before a major shift takes place. You are standing in that stillness now. Heaven is not waiting for your perfection. Heaven is waiting for your alignment. And your alignment is rising beautifully. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that the test is not merely external. It is deeply internal. It is a test of emotional resilience, a test of spiritual maturity, a test of whether your heart can stay aligned even when something tries to pull it off center. This is why your emotions have been shifting so much lately. Heaven has been strengthening you from the inside, giving you the ability to remain steady even when the test tries to provoke the version of you that no longer exists. When the test comes, you will be presented with a moment where your reaction will determine your elevation. But do not fear this moment. You have already been prepared. The signs have been clear. The inner calm that appears unexpectedly, the sudden desire to withdraw from chaos, the way your discernment has sharpened, the way you sense energy shifts quickly, the way old triggers now feel empty. All these changes are evidence that heaven has already equipped you for this moment. Your role is not to fight the test, but to respond with the wisdom heaven has cultivated within you. You may feel tempted to defend yourself, to justify yourself, to prove your point, or to revisit old emotional patterns. But the new version of you will rise with restraint, grace, and clarity. That response will be your graduation. Heaven will recognize it immediately, and the shift that follows will be undeniable. One of the most powerful outcomes of this test will be the revelation of your spiritual identity. You will see yourself differently. You will carry yourself differently. You will understand your purpose differently. Something in you will awaken, a confidence that does not depend on validation, a peace that does not depend on circumstances, and a clarity that does not fade when challenged. This awakening is one of the greatest rewards of the test, and heaven has been preparing you for it long before you were aware. The test is coming not to break you, but to reveal you. Not to drain you, but to elevate you. Not to expose weakness, but to announce readiness. Archangel Michael stands beside you because heaven trusts you. And that trust is the greatest honor a soul can receive. Remain close to this message, for the revelation ahead will reveal what waits for you immediately after the test is passed. Something extraordinary stands on the other side, and your spirit will feel the truth of it rising as we continue. Type "My spirit walks in heaven's timing" in the comments if your soul is aligned with this message. Blessing code 661 is now released. My advancing soul, you have arrived at a point in this divine journey where heaven begins to reveal what awaits you on the other side of the spiritual test. Up until now, the warnings, the preparation, the intuitive sharpening, and the emotional refinement have all been leading you toward a single transformational moment. But heaven is not only interested in preparing you for the test, it is equally invested in preparing you for the elevation that follows it. Archangel Michael stands beside you with a level of readiness that should tell you one thing clearly. Your life is about to transition into a new spiritual dimension, and the test is the final gate you must walk through to reach it. In the unseen realms, your name has been spoken. Not in fear, not in judgment, but in recognition. Heaven has been watching the quiet battles you fought, the nights where you cried but kept going, the days where you felt unseen but remained faithful, the moments when you were tempted to fall back into old patterns but held yourself together instead. None of this has been ignored. The test ahead is not a punishment. It is heaven's acknowledgement that you have outgrown the previous season and earned the right to step into something greater. Your life is about to expand spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and possibly even physically, and that expansion demands a spirit that can sustain it. One of the greatest revelations you must understand is this: the moment you pass the test, you will feel a shift that is unmistakable. It will not be subtle. It will not be confusing. It will feel like a heavy weight suddenly lifting off your chest. It will feel like clarity hitting your mind with lightning precision. It will feel like a spiritual exhale after years of holding your breath. Heaven often hides breakthrough behind obedience, and your obedience in that moment, your choice to respond from your higher self, will tear open the very atmosphere around your destiny. Archangel Michael wants you to know that what follows the test is not just blessing, it is alignment. Blessing is what you receive. Alignment is who you become. Blessing can come and go, but alignment creates a flow where blessings begin to follow you instead of you chasing them. When the test is passed, heaven will position you in a frequency where things start connecting effortlessly. You will notice that opportunities that once felt distant appear more quickly. Conversations begin unfolding in your favor. People who are meant for your destiny step closer. Doors that were sealed begin to open without much effort. This is the reward of alignment. There is a deeper truth waiting for you. After the test, heaven will remove something that has been draining your spirit. It might be an inner fear. It might be an old emotional tie. It might be a repeating pattern. It might be a relationship that has been confusing you. Whatever it is, heaven will separate you from it immediately after the test is passed. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. The test reveals what cannot stay, and after you pass, heaven does the cleansing for you. You will not have to struggle to let go. You will simply feel release. You may also experience a sudden acceleration in the days following the test. The things that were delayed will start moving. The clarity you lacked will come into sharp focus. The prayers you whispered in uncertainty will begin unfolding in unexpected ways. This acceleration is heaven's way of confirming that you responded correctly, that you chose alignment over emotion, and that you honored the spiritual preparation you were given. Archangel Michael wants you to know that after the test, you will walk differently, not physically, but spiritually. Your confidence will no longer come from people. It will come from heaven. Your peace will no longer depend on external circumstances. It will rise from within you. Your intuition will become a guiding force that is impossible to ignore. You will sense danger earlier. You will recognize divine opportunities faster. You will move with a grace that can only come from spiritual maturity. This test is not an obstacle. It is initiation. The elevation waiting for you is multi-layered. Emotionally, you will feel lighter and more stable. Spiritually, you will feel grounded and connected. Mentally, you will think with clarity and direction. Physically, you may even notice your body feeling more energized as your spirit aligns with its higher frequency. This is all part of the transformation heaven has been carefully shaping within you. There is something else heaven wants to reveal. After the test, someone in your life will show their true intentions. Either their loyalty will shine, or their true motives will be exposed. This is another reason the test exists. Heaven wants to reveal hearts. Some people are meant to walk with you in the next season, but others are meant to be released. You will not have to guess who is who. The test will show you. Another reward of passing this test is the return of something you thought you lost. It may be your confidence, your joy, your focus, your creativity, or your inner power. Heaven is restoring something that was drained from you in past seasons. Once you pass this test, you will feel that restoration rushing back into your life like a wave of fresh energy. What you thought was gone forever will return stronger. What comes after the test is not temporary change. It is a new identity forming permanently. You will not slip back into old patterns because you will no longer resonate with them. The spiritual frequency you will rise into is incompatible with the old version of you. That is how powerful this elevation will be. Hold on to this truth. Heaven is preparing you not for survival, but for expansion. Not for endurance, but for arrival. Not for mere growth, but for transformation. And the next revelation will reveal exactly how the spiritual realms will confirm your victory after the test has been passed. Type "I step into my next season" in the comments if your spirit feels this rising. Blessing code 515 is now activated. My ascending soul, you are now approaching the most profound stage of this divine unfolding. The place where the spiritual test, the preparation, the alignment, and the elevation begin merging into a single heavenly orchestration. The air around your destiny is no longer just shifting. It is vibrating with purpose. Every part of your inner world has been pushed, shaped, purified, sharpened, and awakened for a moment that is now drawing near with extraordinary precision. Archangel Michael stands behind you like a guardian of thresholds, a divine warrior ensuring that nothing interferes with what heaven is preparing to release into your life. As you enter this stage, heaven begins revealing how the spiritual realms will confirm your victory after the test is passed. This confirmation is not symbolic. It is literal. It is powerful. It is life-changing. And it is already in motion. Once the test appears and you choose the higher response, something supernatural will take place within you. You may not notice it at first, but deep inside, a spiritual shift will activate instantly. It will feel like a tightening becoming loose, like a pressure lifting, like a storm finally clearing. It is the moment heaven recognizes your alignment, your discipline, and your instant obedience. This internal shift is the first confirmation that you have passed. It is the spirit acknowledging what the soul has achieved. But heaven does not stop there. After the test is passed, the second confirmation will show up in the form of sudden clarity. For weeks, months, or even years, you may have carried confusion about a particular relationship, a decision, a direction, or a personal emotional pattern. That confusion will immediately dissolve. You will see the situation clearly. You will feel certainty. You will know exactly what to do, and there will be no fear attached to the knowing. This clarity is not intellectual. It is spiritual. It is heaven removing the veil that once blocked your understanding. The third confirmation will arise in your emotional world. There is a peace waiting for you that does not resemble the peace you have known before. It is not temporary calmness. It is not psychological relief. It is not the quiet that comes after chaos. It is divine peace, spiritual confidence wrapped in stillness. This peace does not ask permission from circumstances. It does not depend on anyone else's actions. It comes directly from heaven and settles into your chest like a sacred anchor. When you feel this, you will know, I pass. Archangel Michael wants you to recognize the next confirmation as well, alignment in your physical world. Heaven does not let a spiritual victory sit quietly. It rearranges your reality to match your new level. You will notice things falling into place. A conversation you have been waiting for may finally come through. An opportunity that was delayed may suddenly open. A door that refused to budge may swing wide without effort. These alignments are heaven's way of saying, your obedience has unlocked your next steps. The next confirmation is subtle but powerful. The disconnection from something that once drained you. This disconnection will happen naturally, without struggle. Someone whose energy was misaligned may drift away. A habit that once controlled you will lose its power. An emotional pattern you fought for years may dissolve. This is heaven's cleansing. Passing the test automatically removes what is incompatible with your next season. You will feel lighter, freer, more grounded. And then comes one of the strongest confirmations, renewal of strength. There is a spiritual fatigue that has been building inside you for a long time. You may not talk about it, but you feel it every day. It shows up as emotional heaviness, mental exhaustion, or spiritual tiredness. When the test is passed, that heaviness will break. You will feel fresh energy rising inside you. Your mind will feel sharper. Your spirit will feel awake. Your heart will feel stronger. This renewal is not motivational. It is supernatural. Archangel Michael also reveals another confirmation, sharpened intuition. After the test, your spiritual senses will heighten dramatically. You will hear guidance more clearly. You will notice signs more frequently. You will feel nudges from heaven with certainty. You will sense truth without needing explanations. Your intuition will become a spiritual compass that guides you with precision. The sharpened intuition is a signal that heaven has promoted you into a higher level of awareness. Another confirmation will come through the people around you. Some individuals will suddenly speak words that confirm what heaven has been showing you. Others will act in ways that reveal their true place in your life. Someone may even unexpectedly support you, encourage you, or affirm you. These interactions are not random. They are heaven's strategic ways of validating your spiritual advancement. And then, perhaps the most beautiful confirmation of all, the arrival of something you have prayed about for a long time. It may not appear in its full form immediately, but the first signs will come quickly. A message, a sign, a breakthrough, a shift, a divine timing moment you cannot deny. Heaven always rewards obedience with movement. The test is the trigger. Passing it releases divine momentum. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this truth deeply. After the test, confirmation will surround you. You will not have to guess. You will not have to question. You will not have to doubt. Heaven is too intentional to leave you confused. The confirmations will come one after another, creating a wave of reassurance, alignment, and direction. And all of this is because you have chosen growth. You have chosen awareness. You have chosen alignment. You have chosen elevation. Now heaven is choosing you. Stay close now. The next stage will reveal the final unfolding, the grand purpose of everything heaven has prepared you for. Type "I am ready for my confirmation" in the comments if your spirit feels this truth rising. Blessing code 4040 is now released. My victorious soul, you have arrived at the final threshold of this divine journey, the place where heaven brings together every whisper, every warning, every preparation, and every spiritual shift into a single, breathtaking revelation. What you are about to understand now is the grand purpose behind everything Archangel Michael has been guiding you through. This is not just the conclusion of a message. This is the unveiling of your next spiritual identity, the unveiling of a destiny that has been waiting for the moment you would finally be ready to carry it. Through every part of this journey, heaven has been forming you, shaping you, strengthening you, refining you, not randomly, but intentionally. And now, the purpose comes into full view. The major spiritual test that heaven warned you about has never been about difficulty. It has always been about destiny. It was not sent to crush you, confuse you, or intimidate you. It was sent because heaven needed proof that your spirit is ready for what comes next. Not proof for heaven's sake, but proof for your own heart. Sometimes a person grows so much internally that their spirit outgrows the identity they still believe they have. This test is the bridge between who you were and who you have become. It is heaven saying, "Let me show you the version of yourself you no longer realize you are." Archangel Michael wants you to realize that everything you have been feeling, the shifts, the intuition, the clarity, the detachment, the emotional balancing, the quiet strength rising inside you, has been heaven carving away the last fragments of your old identity. The test will reveal that the old triggers no longer hold power. The old patterns no longer fit. The old fears no longer speak. The old wounds no longer direct your decisions. You are no longer the person who entered your past storms. You are the person who survived them, transformed by them, and was called out of them with a divine purpose. The greater purpose behind this test is spiritual graduation. You are stepping into a new realm of responsibility, blessing, and influence. Not worldly influence, spiritual influence. You will begin speaking, choosing, acting, and responding from a higher level of consciousness. Heaven has prepared you so that when your next season unfolds, your soul will not sabotage what your spirit has prayed for. You will walk with clarity instead of confusion. You will walk with authority instead of insecurity. You will walk with wisdom instead of emotional impulse. You will walk with purpose instead of survival. The test is the final unlocking. Once it is passed, heaven will release a level of divine guidance over your life that you have never experienced before. You will feel led, not lost. You will feel aligned, not scattered. You will feel strengthened, not drained. And the reason is simple. This test is breaking the spiritual ceiling you have lived under for years. Heaven is raising your capacity to receive. Beyond the test lies restoration, true restoration. Not the illusion of healing, but the fullness of it. Something was taken from you in past seasons. Your confidence, your peace, your inner rhythm, your trust, your sense of spiritual stability. Heaven is restoring all of it, and even more. The test marks the moment where the restoration begins to flow freely into your life. Archangel Michael stands as witness to this restoration, ensuring that nothing interferes with what is being returned to you. Beyond the test lies divine protection at a higher level. You will feel guarded in ways you cannot explain. Situations that used to intimidate you will no longer shake you. Energies that used to drain you will no longer reach you. People who once had power over your emotions will no longer influence your decisions. This protection is the result of your spiritual maturity. Heaven always places its strongest shield over the soul that has proven itself ready. Beyond the test lies elevation. This elevation is not symbolic, it is literal. Heaven is preparing to raise you in ways that will transform your life. Opportunities may emerge. New connections may form. Destiny helpers may appear. And paths that once felt blocked will begin opening effortlessly. This is the reward of alignment. This is the reward of obedience. This is the reward of spiritual preparation. Archangel Michael wants you to understand a powerful truth. You are stepping into a season where heaven will trust you with more clarity, more guidance, more opportunities, more spiritual insight, more favor, more open doors, more divine connections. Heaven only gives more to the soul that can handle more, and this test is the divine confirmation that you are ready. You are being positioned. You are being elevated. You are being recognized. You are being released into a spiritual dimension that your past self could not have carried. And every part of your journey, every challenge, every moment of confusion, every night of questioning has been leading you here. You are not arriving by accident. You are arriving by assignment. The next chapter of your life will not resemble the previous ones. You are shifting into a season of divine timing, divine alignment, divine protection, and divine fulfillment. The spiritual world has prepared you for this moment. Heaven has orchestrated every detail. Michael has guided every step. And the test is simply the key that unlocks everything waiting for you. Stand in readiness, dear soul. Stand in awareness. Stand in alignment. Heaven is watching. Heaven is guiding. Heaven is preparing to elevate you in a way that will make sense only when you look back and say, "Everything led me here." Type "I walk into my divine future" in the comments if your spirit receives this revelation. Blessing code 1212 is now activated. Like this message, share it to awaken someone else's spirit. Leave a comment of agreement and subscribe so you never miss heaven's guidance flowing into your life. Beloved soul of destiny, as this message draws to its powerful close, let your heart hear this truth. When you support this mission, you help carry heaven's warning to every soul standing on the edge of their spiritual test. The same divine urgency in this title now becomes a divine calling for you. The Lord says, "When you release seed into my work, I release breakthrough into your life." And today this word becomes living fire. I speak directly to you in this sacred moment. Your super thanks, your membership, or your offering through the PayPal link in the description is not a donation. It is a prophetic act of alignment with God's mission. Let your giving become the declaration that you stand with heaven's assignment. As you sow into this message, may divine covering, supernatural clarity, and uncommon favor overflow into your next season. Move boldly, for this is your moment to activate what heaven has prepared for you.